Welcome back. St. Paul is celebrating a huge national award. It's among 6 cities to win the Cities of Services Experience Matters competition. And St. Paul residents 50 and older will participate in volunteer initiatives to help neighbors with minor home and property repairs. It's a great way to involve older, more experienced adults in the community. That's all today in the Sandwich Generation. And now those of you at home are wondering, who do we have here to talk about it? To my immediate left, we have Munir Karcher Ramos. He's the director of the Office of Financial Empowerment for the City of St. Paul, as well as a familiar face, Will Phillips, the state director for AARP Minnesota. Thank you both for being here with us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Let's just kind of jump right into the conversation and talk about the Cities of Service and the Experience Matter campaign.
Oh. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's, as you mentioned, 6 cities across the country who have been selected to really figure out how to tap into the expertise of older adults and volunteers in cities generally. As we know, Minnesota is a great state for volunteerism and civic engagement, and so I think the idea is how do we tap into that to help improve the lives of St. Paul residents and really get at some of these issues that really get at poverty, get at people's ability to have a secure financial future and present.
And speaking of tapping in, it seems like St. Paul is already on the front lines. Talk about what St. Paul won.
Yeah, so we won this award. So the Office of Financial Empowerment, we were recently established just 4 months ago, and this was sort of one of our first big wins, partnering with AARP and, really looking at how do we intervene in financial insecurity. And what we know is that with this program, we'll be able to work with the Department of Safety Inspection and the City Water to really look at ways that we can intervene to get volunteers out in the community to work on things like shoveling, mowing the grass, and those sort of things.
So the prize was a big one, $25,000.
$25,000, and we're using those, for the different repairs, as the volunteers go out, and really looking forward to getting them out there.
The 5 other cities?
That's a great question. They're in places like Alabama, Oklahoma, New Mexico, California, and I know I'm missing a state, but all across the country. And again, figuring out how do we tap into volunteers to make a difference in people's lives who really just want to remain in community. How do we make that a reality?
Something as little as mowing the lawn, which is what we're looking at video of right now.
That's right. Mowing the lawn, shoveling the walk, things that may seem trivial to some of us, but for a lot of people can mean the difference between being in code violation, having excessive water bills, or being able just to get to the grocery store.
Gardening, painting homes, all of that.
Above.
All that. If you look at the water, it could be up to $56 a day for a running toilet. But it's a $10 fix. So when we have those volunteers in those households, we're going to be saving folks a lot of money, and those who are really struggling, just to get by sometimes.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Keep up the great work and let us know how it pans out. Stop back by and give us a progress report. For more information about the Cities of Service, head to KARE11.com. We will post this segment as well as some important links on our 11 a.m. show page.